Yeah, and this is where I was going to jump in, and I think with my definition of free will, I would actually base it in the complete opposite manner and say that you should take almost a selfish standpoint and just think about who you are, how you navigate your life, the ramifications of your choices on the people that you know, on what you experience, what brings you to where you are. And I think that's kind of the answer that I've sought and found is through like the different interactions and experiences that I've had, just all of the things that I've been able to do throughout my life, I don't think I would have been able to do without the choice to take certain actions. Because even if we get into just simple things like anxiety, there are, I think there are times where I've done things where it's like my body feels like it's shutting down from the nervousness. Like I'm physically struggling to make this choice, but then I do. And I just feel like there's a degree of that's what I classify free will is that it's the ability to sometimes make these hard choices that don't feel natural, that you wouldn't instinctively go towards. It's that kind of the tenacity and this ability to be divergent.
So I think you can look at that and you could say, okay, some decisions are made outside of logic as we're aware of them, like intuitive decisions. Like we had two good options here, two bad options, and I had to pick one, and I was able to pick one. And after I picked it, it just felt right. The intuition there. I would still argue there's just no room for free will there. Like on some level, your mind made that decision.
So you're saying intuition is sort of like your mind nudging you towards
I think it's deeper levels of thinking.
Predetermined answer.
I don't think you need to use the word predetermined. I think it's like, okay, let's say your mind made the decision. Intuition to me seems like your subconscious has information that your conscious isn't aware of, and so it's helping you make a decision. That's what I think of as intuition.
Okay.
Let's say intuition is metaphysical. Let's say intuition is actually your brain is communicating with other brains in ways we don't know. That's just a theory people have. I don't know if that's true. It's probably not true. I don't know. I don't think it matters there because I think it's either way. It's your brain is taking in information and making decisions, whether or not you, whatever conscious you is aware of it. It's still making, like I just, like in all these things, like you can even put it in a box and you can say, oh, there's a bunch of fuzzy, weird stuff happening in here. Like I make a decision, I was anxious and I end up making a decision anyway. I still don't see room for free will. Like even if we don't know entirely what's going on there, I don't know how you can take any absence of our understanding and look in and find free will.
The one thing I have to say is that, yes, I would say you made a very logical argument about the intuitive, but what about the counterintuitive? What about the time when you make decisions that don't make sense? They don't make sense in the moment. They don't make sense afterwards. You don't feel any sense of intuition. You didn't feel good about either answer. You make a decision that might even seem like the worst decision in the moment. You might not be comfortable with it. You might be at risk. You might be sacrificing something very important to you. But this is the decision that for some reason or another might not have felt right. No signs any way point towards this answer, but this is still the one that you choose.
When do you do that?
I don't have a great example, but I know that I have done things like this.
When you procrastinate.
When you procrastinate.
I can logically explain why I procrastinate.
Because you don't want to do the work.
Because I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy.
No, but you know that you should.
Yeah, but I know that I'll
And
nine times out of 10 I'll be fine if I don't do it.
You
like
have
if I do
the
it,
feeling that you should do it. You have that intuition that, oh, this is what I should be doing, which is what you just argued.
Yeah, and then I can logically in my head be like, well, I can just watch TV for another 10 minutes.
But wouldn't that be free will? You take the choice to do something that's counter.
That's true.
Yeah.
You kind of just, you said in my head, I can just.
I can logically work out why I can just not do
when you say
right now.
work out, what does that mean? Like, are you working out a decision?
It's like a calculation?
Yeah, like expand on that.
That I think that gets to whatever consciousness is, and I think consciousness is kind of the illusion that you're working on things.
Okay.
Like for example, this is a good one. All right, Brendan, you're the guest. Give me a movie.
Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Great. Why did you say Back to the Future?
Wait a minute.
No, I do have a thing I want to talk about with Back to the Future.
So in the subconscious because Finian mentioned it on Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that free will?
What do you mean?
Was there any free will in deciding Back to the Future?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because it came to me, but I didn't have to say it.
You didn't have to say it.
Just because it's the first thing that came to me doesn't mean that I had to choose that.
Well,
I could have derailed the stream of consciousness. I could have paused, said, I don't think that's an apt choice, and changed my mind.
So maybe 2 movies could have come up and you had the choice between them.
Oh, Apocalypse Now.
Okay, so you had the choice between Back to the Future and Apocalypse Now. You made a decision. Why did you make the decision?
It felt more natural.
Felt more natural.
Go with the flow.
And so that's free will.
Yes.
So you think your brain, do you think one of them was more logical than the other? Like, do you think Back to the Future was more relevant in this case?
I don't think I'm that calculative.
Okay, so you just felt it.
I flowed. It was easier to go with the stream than resist it. At times, that is the more natural decision. There was no, evident harm. There's no great benefit. I might as well go with what, came to me intuitively.
I just don't see how intuition inserts free will into that. I just intuition can guide you in one direction, but that's just coming from somewhere deep in your mind you're not aware of. I just don't know where the free will is in that.
The ability to resist.
Okay, 2 things. First, we'll come back to the Future in a second. Yeah. This is kind of reminding me of an argument that I had with my dad about what is art? Mm-hmm. At what point does something become art? Because I can look at this wall, it's painted, but I wouldn't call it art. I can go to a gallery, see a canvas that's painted the exact same color.
Still not art.
And then it's art. But it's in a museum. It's classified as art. Yeah. So where's the line? This is reminding me.
There is no line.
Intent.
There's no line.
This is reminding me of that conversation because your whole thing was you said Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you wanted to. The act of doing it is what made it a choice. So the act of putting it on a canvas is what made it art. Do you see what I'm saying?
I completely agree. That's why I said intent. It's the purpose.
Okay. Yeah. So coming back to the Future, without thinking about the temporal mechanics of it, do you agree with the time travel in Back to the Future?
No.
Okay. Liam, do you?
I don't have thoughts.